Hey everyone, it's Dustin Nulf with Keller Williams Realty's, the Dustin Nulf team and the Full House LLC, Pittsburgh Property Management. How we all doing today? Most people in my business life would not know this, but there's two things in my background that I think have helped me get where I am today and help increase my odds of success, believe it or not. One of them is I've been in a couple of different bands, and I'm a musician at heart. The other one is I was a pretty big video game person. So I was a gamer. I loved role-playing games. I played a lot of Battlefield back in the day, and that's actually the subject of today's video. So today's video we're going to talk about how video games and being a gamer has helped me become successful in real life. Yes, it's possible. So we're going to look at that today. Before we get rolling though, check out the links below. So I've got links for great books that you can read below, books that have helped influence me and help my mindset and help me focus on being more productive and more successful in my life. I've got links below for other videos that you might find interesting. And I also do real estate coaching. We do real estate sales coaching for new or experienced agents. It's $10 a month. If you can't afford that, then you shouldn't be in real estate. Sorry guys. But $10 a month, we do a lot of cool free downloads and things like that. Like I have a copy of my expired mailer, the first mailer we send out when a property expires. I have copies of our Craigslist ad copy. So if you want to create a Craigslist ad that's going to generate leads for you, we got copies of those as well. All that sort of stuff. I do real estate coaching for teams, lead agents who want to build a team. That's only $100 a month. Some of the cheapest team building coaching you're going to find. And what I'm trying to do there is help people avoid the mistakes that I've made building my team, and help you streamline the process and become more successful faster. So if that's of interest, there's a link below for that. I also do real estate coaching more on a personal basis, one-on-one, so it's geared toward where you're at in your business right now. That's a one-on-one coaching once a week with me. That's $1,000 a month, and we can coach on investing, team building, or sales. So I am an experienced investor as well. I got 25 rental units of my own and looking to pick up hundreds more here in the near future. So check those links out below. Give me a like if you like the content. Hit subscribe and hit the notification bell if you'd like to see more videos as I post them. I'm posting about 2 to 4 videos a week. So there's a lot of good stuff going out there. And let me know in the comments below if there's anything else you'd like to see or learn about that I could help you with. So let's get rolling. So we're going to talk about 4 important lessons that I learned from being a video game addict that has helped me be more successful in real life. And I want to preface this with this: if you spend all your time playing video games, you're not going to be successful in real life. Even, you look at some of these YouTubers who have millions of subscribers who film themselves playing video games. I can tell you from experience, filming yourself on YouTube and then editing the video and making it viable content, placing it on YouTube, promoting your video, it takes time, okay? So you may think that, as an inexperienced person, you might think that these guys are really not working hard. It's a lot of hard work to get those videos out there and get 1 million+ subscribers. So you cannot just make millions of dollars playing video games. What I ended up doing was I got out of video games almost completely. It's a fun way to spend leisure time, but the thing is that I really like making money more than I like making points or experience on video games. So let's get started. We're going to look at the 4 things that I learned from video games that have helped me become more successful in real life. And we'll start with number 4. An important factor, but the least important factor on the list, is keeping score. Okay, so as far back as I can remember. So Mario Brothers was like the first game that I played where I was like, oh man, I love this, and I became an addict pretty much immediately, and I needed to get a Nintendo. I remember I played my cousin's Nintendo, and they had Mario Brothers, and I loved it. So I begged my mom and my dad to get me a Nintendo for Christmas that year, and I ended up getting one, and played Mario Brothers. And anybody who's played Mario Brothers, you're racking your score up, right? Like at the first Mario Brothers that was released, you had to rack your score up. You wanted to get a high score, and you wanted to get as many one-ups as possible. So what do you learn out of keeping score? Well, in real life, the way I look at it is my score is my pocketbook, or my net worth, more importantly. As you grow your net worth, you grow your income, and your income kind of reflects your net worth, right? So if your net worth is $10 million, that means that you should be making, in my opinion, between $800,000 and $1 million a year. Okay, so that means you're getting an 8 to 10% return on your net worth. When you look at it that way, and you try to obtain the highest possible number there, as you get going, it can be rough to get going, but as you get going, it becomes kind of like a snowball rolling down the hill. As long as you stay focused on how am I going to make that number bigger, you start learning new and more productive avenues to make money and be able to turn it into net worth, which then turns it into passive income. What we want, like, I think everybody should have the goal of passive income, right? And when I say passive income, I don't mean Social Security, because God only knows if Social Security is going to be there for us, 20, 30 years down the road. So if you can create, you want to control your own destiny. If you control your own destiny and you create net worth, you're going to create passive income for yourself. The other thing that ties into keeping score is we talk about like achievements. So when you're playing, we used to play Call of Duty all the time and play Battlefield and things like that, and you unlock these achievements. And when you unlock achievements, you unlock these new avenues and new tools and new weapons that you can use. In real life, when you get recognized for your achievements, and that's publicized throughout the local environment, it attracts more opportunity. Okay, so it works in a similar sort of way. When you get those awards and people start talking about you and spreading the name around, that's when more opportunity comes your way, and it's almost like the net worth. You get a passive income stream out of it, where it's people coming to you for business instead of you having to go to them for business. Number 3, the third most important thing that I learned from video games and being a gamer, is how to work in a team environment in order to increase my odds of success. So whether it comes down to, I love role-playing games. I did Final Fantasy all the time. I love Final Fantasy XI. In order for you to be the most efficient at that game and make the most experience, level up the fastest, you had to team up with people. That's all there was to it. And that's one of the reasons why I love that game, is because you had to team up, and it took you time to be successful. I put in 8 years of my life on that game, which is sad, because if I spent 8 years actually making real money, I'd be way further ahead than I am right now. So how to work in a team. In that game, you had to pair up, and then you'd go out and get experience. And if you had the right organization of team members, you'd be able to get experience faster and have a more productive party, or experience party as we called it. Same thing in Battlefield. Like I think about Battlefield, we would play, I believe it was kind of like capture the flag. I can't remember how it worked, but if you went into it and you kind of turned your headset off and you were just there to do your own thing, and you weren't really working together or communicating with your teammates, then your chance of success in that game went down a lot. Like a lot. The times that I played it when I felt the most successful, where we had the best runs, was when our team was communicating on the headset and we were talking about where we were going and what we were doing, and we had a plan and we stuck to it. So that's a good example right there, not only when it comes to teamwork, but communication in teamwork, right? So if you want to achieve a higher level of success, you need to find a good team and work with that team and communicate with that team very well. So the number 2 most important thing that I learned from video games and being a gamer is how to lead a team. And I learned that kind of early in the Final Fantasy days. If I wanted a successful party, I was better off creating it on my own and leading it on my own, because there didn't seem to be a whole lot of leaders in that game. As I become more experienced in business, I find that there's not a whole lot of leaders in life either, unfortunately. So a lot of people like to sit by the sidelines and wait for somebody else to do something. In that game, you would sit, there would be a lot of people just sitting around, like they'd literally log into the game and go sit down and just kind of hang out. And they would put a flag up saying that they wanted to join an experience party, and they would just sit and wait for somebody to invite them to the party, and they would do nothing. And they would wait and wait and wait, and like it was literally hours and hours that people would wait to do something in that game. And what I found out was that if I wanted to be more productive and be faster in that game, I would go out and I would start inviting the people that were better matched roles for my party. And if there was a role that I needed that person wasn't seeking a party, I would invite them. I'd say, hey, we're starting an experience party, do you want to join up? So I would go out and get them. Instead of sitting there waiting, I would go out and grab them and say, hey, come join us. And I would be able to create a party faster while all these other fools were just sitting around waiting for somebody to invite them. I would grab the party and make the party. And then I would lead the party and say, this is what we're going to do, this is where we're going to go. And I would have a party started in less than 30 minutes, whereas others waited for 3 hours for a party. Now, when you look at that and relate it to real life, it's the same sort of thing in business. The most success, the most income comes to the people who organize it, take control, and lead and head in the direction that they want to go. The other thing to get out of that is, I had mentioned finding the right roles for those positions. In business, it's the same sort of thing. If you want a good support person in your business, so an administrator who's going to be organized, going to put all your paperwork together, keep the office in order, track your numbers, that sort of stuff, you don't want to hire a driver to be an organizer, right? So you're going to hire an organizer to be an organizer. So that's one of the things we talk about in our team building coaching, is we use the DISC personality assessment to find out what type of person we're interviewing. Because if we're going to hire that organizer, we want to find somebody who has a personality that's already naturally an organizer personality, okay? So, I mean, if that sounds interesting to you as far as team building goes, you know, let's talk. Because that can save you a whole hell of a lot of time and money in bad hires if you really initially look at that from the get-go. So when you put the right people together and you have them in the right roles, you're going to be more productive and more successful faster. The number one most important thing that I learned from being a gamer that has helped me with success and helped me be successful in real life is how to be obsessed with something. That is pretty much the thing that made me so good at the video games that I played, was that I was obsessed with them. I loved them. I would wake up and want to play the video game, right? The most important thing I got out of that I was able to implement on my real life is that I had to train my brain to become obsessed with real estate sales, or obsessed with making money, or being an entrepreneur, or growing a business, okay? When I started looking at it like it was a cool real life video game and I wanted to level up as fast as possible, I started becoming obsessed with the ways I could level up and how fun it could be to do it. And I think that that's one of the most important things. People talk about passion, and they say, hey, you need to find something that you're passionate about. If you find something you're passionate about, then you'll be successful at it. That's a bunch of BS, okay? I'm passionate about going on vacation, okay? So if I go on vacation all the time, am I going to make any money? Probably not. In order for me to make money going on vacation all the time, I might have to be a travel writer, or somebody who does reviews on places to go and has a YouTube channel. So it's not just about the action, right? I can be passionate about the action, but I need to turn it into a money-making tool as well. And I have to be passionate about the money-making tool in order to actually make money from it. Okay, so it's not just about passion. Okay, find something that you're passionate about, learn how to turn it into money, and then become obsessed with it, and don't give up until you've turned it into all the money you want. It's about the obsession and not giving up until you have it. You should turn it into something where you need to get out of bed at 5 or 6 in the morning every morning to go do it. That's how obsessed you need to be about it. And I am living proof that you can train your brain to be obsessed with something that you were not obsessed with before. Okay, 10 years ago, 11 years ago, I was not obsessed with making money. I was not obsessed with being successful financially or in a business sense. But I trained my brain, and if you looked at the time I spent playing video games and hanging out and drinking alcohol, as I became more successful, that time spent on those things went down and down and down, and the time spent on being successful and focusing on business went up. And that was just a slow process of me focusing on what I wanted and why I wanted it. Having a big why is super important as well. Because if you know why you want it, you're going to be more motivated to get it. And you're going to be motivated on those days when you show up and you didn't get enough sleep and you don't feel right, you maybe feel like you're getting sick and you don't really feel like being at work. If you're motivated and obsessed to reach that goal, you're going to still perform at 100%, even if you don't feel like it. So I hope you found that helpful. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, give me a thumbs up. Please subscribe below and hit the notification bell, and I'll be posting 2 to 4 videos a week. Check out the links below if you want to sign up for real estate sales coaching, real estate team building coaching, or investing. The links are below, and I got some great books that you should read if you're just getting into real estate investing or just wealth building in general. Read Rich Dad Poor Dad. It's a great book, highly motivational, easy to read. So thanks for joining me. I'll see you again soon.